What's going on, everybody? My name's Giraffe Anatomy, and this is another quick god guide for you. Today, the god that we're going to be looking at is Ao Kuang. So let's get right into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into some jungle practice, and we're going to choose Ao Kuang. Basically, the purpose of this video is just to get you familiar with Ao Kuang's abilities, what they do, what his passive is. So hopefully by the end of this video, you're able to go into Arena, Joust, Slash, or even Conquest and know what to do with the god. So hopefully you're able to take away something from it, able to kind of use his abilities in a combo, and maybe we'll talk about how to build him a little bit as well for you too. So what we'll do is we will take a look at his passive first. I'm going to level everything to 20 here just so we can get all of his abilities. And then what I'll do is I will also just get a relic here so we don't get this message. So let's talk about his passive, right? Ao Kuang, Dragon King Sword. So just to preface this as well, so Ao Kuang is a magical assassin, right? So he is considered a mage. But he is most often played as an assassin in the jungle role. Sometimes you can play him in solo, sometimes you can play him in mid as well, but you will most often see him used as a jungle, and he's a magical jungle. So he is melee ranged, right? Even though he is considered a mage, he is very close quarters when it comes to his attacks and his abilities and things like that as well. So just to preface that so you kind of know what role he's played in and everything like that as well. Let's take a look at his passive, Dragon King Sword. So every 10 seconds, Ao Kuang gets a stack of Dragon King Sword. With a stack available, his next non-ultimate ability that deals damage to an enemy god has a reduced cooldown and heals Ao Kuang. Successfully executing an enemy god with King of Eastern Seas fully charges Dragon King Sword. So that execute is his ultimate. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But this right here, Dragon King Sword, basically every 10 seconds, he gets a stack of it. You can see there's 3 stacks here, right? So basically what this does is if you are able to do damage with a non-ultimate ability, so that's his 1, his 2, or his 3, it will heal him, and he'll heal him 5% of his maximum health. So that's a nice chunk of healing while you're fighting. And one way you build Ao Kuang also is normally with healing of some sort. You'll get things like Ring of Hecate for attack speed and healing. You'll get like Typhon's Fang for healing as well, and doing extra damage for the lifesteal that you have. So it's normally a combination of like rings, some lifesteal items, and magical power, as well as a little bit of penetration on top of that. So we'll talk about the builds a little bit later. Let's go into his 1. So Ao Kuang's 1, Water Illusion. Ao Kuang teleports forward into stealth, leaving behind a watery form of himself. He remains in stealth for 5 seconds or until he attacks or takes damage. Ao Kuang may activate this ability again to detonate the watery form, dealing damage to nearby enemies. So what is this? Basically, this big circle that you see here is going to be the watery form that he leaves, and the little circle is going to be where you appear after you activate it, right? After those 5 seconds are up, the watery form will disapparate by itself. So what I'll do is I'll just show you again real quick what it looks like when an enemy is in this circle. So it says all enemies, so we can get both of these guys in here, right? And you can kind of choose where you want to go. Now, when you use this ability, the statue or the water figure of Ao Kuang in the middle will show what direction you went in. So enemies will know you're in this area somewhere, so it's a good idea to kind of like move around. As soon as you use your 1 and you teleport somewhere, you want to be strafing right or left right away to make sure that they don't know exactly where you are, right? And as you can see, basically you can pop it, and then you can pop it before the 5 seconds are up, like I just did there. Anybody within that circle is going to get damaged, right? With that 1. So it's a great escape tool. If somebody dives you, if somebody jumps on you, right, and you're getting chased, you could just pop your 1 real quick, pop it again, you go invis, you do damage to them. But be careful, if you do pop your 1, you will reappear, right? So you either can stay invisible for 5 seconds and try not to do anything, or as soon as you pop it, right, you become visible again. So just be prepared for that when you do pop his 1 again prematurely if it's before the 5 seconds. If you want to just try and stealth out, you can use your 1. You have 5 seconds to kind of run around, but if you take damage or deal any damage, you will reappear right away. So let's talk about his 2. Dragon Call. Ao Kuang summons 6 dragons to his side. For every successful basic attack Ao Kuang makes, a dragon will dive into the target, dealing additional damage. This ability ends after all dragons are used, or after 10 seconds. Also, Ao Kuang may activate this ability again to send forward any remaining dragons in a ranged attack. The dragons damage and slow the first enemy hit. So you'll see the different values there for attack damage versus the rain damage. It's a little bit it's a little bit weaker to just send the dragons out as a ranged versus using them with your basic attacks, but you do get that slow. So slow is great, 30% for the first second plus 0.25 seconds per remaining dragon. So if you light this up and you're trying to chase somebody down, you do this, they're very slow, and enables you to kind of get those auto attacks in, right? So as a melee assassin, right, as a melee auto attacker based mage here, you need that slow to stay on them, right? So you basically do the dragons, you slow them. While they're slowed, you're basically autoing them that whole time. And that's how his 2 is used, to slow them down and get in range. You could also use the 2, and if you're just autoing, see all that extra damage that's going on? That's all the dragons diving into them as you auto them. So you can basically pop the 2 and auto, and it will do extra damage. So if you're able to catch up to them anyway, if you have something right that enables you, whether it's an enemy getting a teammate CCing them or something like that, and you don't really need to slow them, you can auto attack them. You can just pop the 2 and do this extra damage that way, right? You can also at the end of that, at any point, press your 2 again to range them. You don't have to use all of them for auto attacks. So you can actually press your 2, 1, 2, 3, auto it so it slows them, and then you're autoing them again, right? So you can use it at as your discretion. If it looks like they're starting to get away and out of that auto attack range, you can pop the 2 again and use it as a ranged attack there. So let's go into his 3. His 3, Wild Storm. Ao Kuang unleashes a storm of lightning from his sword, damaging all enemies in front of him. This hit will send a dragon from Dragon's Call forth, dealing damage to hit targets, right? So by itself, this is what the ability looks like. It's a cone, and this is what it does, right? But if you have your 2 popped while this happens, you'll send a dragon forth as well, right? So his 2 combos with his 3, it's very versatile. As long as you have your 2 popped, your 3 will send 1 dragon forth at the very least. So really what you're doing, now that we know what all his 3 abilities do, right, what we can do is know, like, hey, what I'm going to do to engage, I'm normally going to start by popping my 2, like getting in range, and you can do one of 2 things. You can try and get in range by stealthing in, right, and then attacking them. You could save your stealth to get out, like as an escape tool. So a lot of people I know will try and engage with Blink, right, with their relic, or they will come in with their 2, and they basically will do this, pop their 3, do the auto range, and then they're basically going to stick to them and auto them until they die, right? So that's basically your combo. You kind of pop your 2 right before you're going to fight. It lasts for 10 seconds. So it's up for a pretty good time, and basically you're going to pop the 2, try and get 1 out with that 3, a couple autos, maybe use the 2 again to slow them down, stay within range, and basically be auto attacking these guys and bursting them down. So yeah, that's the basics of how to use Ao Kuang and to use all of his abilities. Let's get into his ultimate ability real quick. This is a great one. It's an execute. It's one of the few executes within the game. So what that means is once a god gets under a certain threshold, you will be able to automatically kill them no matter what their health is at, as long as they're under like a certain percentage. So let me do this. I'm just going to build him a little bit here. I'm just going to do some things that I see on him. Do a demonic grip, and let's do let's put a big old rod of the booty on him too. Why not? Whatever. This is a build that you can see on him. 3 lifesteal items, Typhon's Fang, basically synergizes with Bancroft's and Ring of Hecate. Both of these 15% magic lifesteal, another 15%, another 15, plus your healing obtained is increased by 25% from all of your other lifesteal. This lets your basics hit pretty hard, in addition to giving you a lot of magical power. And then obviously this is Pen. Your basic attacks reduce magical pen. Telkinds, your basic attacks deal bonus damage. Really, really good on him. So let's pop this dude Ymir out here. Let's just start autoing some people, right? So now he's in execute threshold. When you see this mark, you're able to execute the enemy god. So what you do is, this is what your execute looks like, and it kind of snaps to them once you get to like a certain range, right? It sort of like auto snaps to them, and what you can do is this. And this is what his ultimate looks like, right? And you have a little bit of time in the air here, and you have a range, like a pretty wide range of where to land next. The only reason I went straight down is because I was aiming in an area you couldn't go down into there. But yeah, it's a really great ability, having the execute for Ao Kuang. And then also remember, it synergizes with its passive, right? So successfully executing an enemy god will fully charge his Dragon King's sword. And what does that mean? You can immediately go back down on the ground again, use an ability, damage somebody, and you get 5% of your health back, right? So you are healing a lot with a build like this. You're able to really out heal and out damage a lot of people. If you're popping this and you're just holding down left click, like, look at all that damage, right? I keep getting frozen by Ymir. He's a pain in the butt to fight, but look at that. Get somebody like Guan Yu out here. You just pop your 2 and just hold left click. Like, Ao Kuang is literally like the left click god, right? You can sneak around, pop your 2, 3, just hold left click, they're gone. Right? He is a menace once you get him fully built. He does a ton of damage, super sneaky. He has a lot of lifesteal. His lifesteal synergizes with his passive. Right, so healing, all this stuff, like using this is a typical build that you'll see on him. I do see people build some other things, like some people don't get the Rada Tahuti, some people don't get demonic, they'll get like hastened or something instead, which, by the way, hastened is hitting an enemy god with a basic attack grants haste for 6 seconds, causing you to be immune from the basic attack movement penalty. What this does, a lot of people like building this on people like Ao Kuang and Freya, because you're basic attack based. So what you'll do is you'll sell this and get hasten ring. This allows you to easily stick to people when auto attacking, right? So look at that. I'm just holding down left click. I'm like almost faster than him. So yeah, you're able to stick to enemy gods pretty easily with hastened going, right? And then obviously if you pop your 2 and you do that as well and they're slowed, you're gonna have no problem keeping up with some of these people, right? So yeah, there's hasten for you. See that? 3, 2, 1. It does only last, so if you read it, it lasts, what's the internal cooldown? 25 seconds. So it looks like it takes 25 seconds for it to come online, but that is definitely enough when you start attacking somebody to chase them down, get the kill. It'll be back up by the time you're engaging somebody. Obviously in a team fight it's going to be a little bit rough, but for that first chase down that you're doing, right, it starts at 25 seconds, but in that time frame, like for these 5 seconds that it's up, you're really able to stick to somebody and really do the damage that you need to do to them. So yeah, those are the basic builds on him. We've gone over his execute, we've gone over really everything to know about him. Really quick, I do just want to show you, I actually killed him a little too fast there. I just want to show you guys really quick the execute again. Well, Guan heal, man. Dude, I've been punked by this Guan more than once. Actually, I can't do that. I gotta go do this. I just want to show you what it looks like to land on somebody again with this execute after you've done it. Just because you do extra damage when you land on somebody. So if I execute somebody and I see another enemy over here, I have this targeter, right? I can go land on one of them you do landing damage as well when you do this. So not only do you do the damage, and the execute threshold is 30% of them, but you end up healing when you execute somebody. 30% of your maximum health is healed if you execute someone. So a lot of people, they're able to go in when they're super low with Ao Kuang, execute, and basically heal up a ton, and then go back into the fight, right? Dive back in, and do that landing damage and just start over again, right? So you can land, you can like pop your one real quick, pop it again, start attacking, right? So yeah, that's Ao Kuang. It's pretty basic. There isn't much complexity to him, right? You're basically popping your 2 before the fights. You can use your 3 and your 2 together in any way and fashion that you want to do damage while you're holding like left click for auto attacks. And I would save his 1 either for engaging, like you can use it to engage like from around a corner, and all of a sudden, oh, you're there in their face, you're already there doing all the damage. Or you can save his 1 for an escape. If you're starting to get dove, you can like press your beads and then your 1, and then you can stealth out and try and like zigzag out of there, and hopefully they're not able to find you, right? So yeah, so those are the basics of Ao Kuang. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want, we actually have a SMITE Discord that we run called the SMITE Dojo. It will be in the link below. Feel free to click on it, join the Discord, come say hi. We help people of all skill levels, right? We help new people that are coming into the game, trying to learn what gods are and what their abilities are, what to build on them, all that stuff, all the way to people that have been playing for years, but maybe they've only played Arena, Joust, and Slash or something like that, right? They've never really gotten into Conquest, but you know, they want to get their feet wet. Like we run Conquest learning sessions and things like that. We'll do one-on-one training with you, all that stuff. So we just like playing Smite. We're happy to help, and we love seeing people play Smite and get into it and play along with us. So feel free to join there, and then also like and subscribe for more videos. I'm basically going A through Z. There's 120 gods, a lot to get through. We're only on Ao Kuang. I just finished like the top row, so we're gonna continue and keep making some good content for you guys. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much, and have a great day.